Hello and welcome back to the Masters mod. Last time we cleaned up the Omega Ruins and Omega Weapon, and now we're actually going to finish off the last of the Aeons. First we're going to deal with the Magus Sisters, and unlike the normal game, you can't cheese one at a time, you gotta take all three. Now, in terms of customization and prep, the only characters I'm giving new stuff to is Riku and Wakka. Now, Wakka is going to get a Sleep Strike on his evading counter weapon, and he's also getting Sanity Preserver on his armor, because the little one, Mindy, has a whole lot of status effects that can definitely mess you up. So, yeah, if she goes for Wakka with it, then that's all the better, because if she just normal attacks him, she'll miss, and if she goes for the Pasado or something, then he can probably survive, and you don't have to worry about all those ailments. Not only that, but Wakka is very important in this fight, so he's going to be on the front line a lot. But Riku, I'm actually going to customize the weapon that has the SOS haste that I bought from Besaid. Now she's going to get Sleep Strike and Sleep Proof, because the Sleep Buster alone is not going to do it for the middle one, Sandy. She needs Sleep Strike, first of all, so that it'll work, second of all, so she'll be down for 3 turns instead of 1. Now, this fight can really spiral out of control really quickly, and the way that you really want to rein it in is, 1, to keep the middle one, Sandy, asleep basically the entire time, and keep Mindy magic broken. Cindy can be super annoying with her Aqua Camisade, but if you have a no water on, then you don't have to deal with that. And then after that first move, she'll basically be trying to heal up her sisters the entire time if you do the strategy right, and if you get lucky. But trying to make luck less of the limiting factor, I am actually getting 2 accuracy spears from the Besaid shop and putting them on Wakka. Because, yeah, once Cindy gets her first overdrive, I'm pretty sure that the Null All also gives, like, reflex and stuff, so Sandy will be much harder to hit after that first overdrive. So, giving an extra aim on him will make it more consistent, but it's still pretty scary when the Sleep Busters start missing. When Sandy's asleep, and when Mindy is magic broken, you can definitely bring out Lulu for the double demi. As usual, that's my major source of damage, but then also it makes it so that Sandy doesn't wake up. And then yeah, you definitely need to make sure that Mindy is magic broken, because she'll counter with a Gravija, and if she's not magic broken, that does 100% of your current HP. But if she's magic broken, then she can't do, or it's actually impossible to kill you, because it'll only do half of your current HP. But going back to Sandy, there's 2 reasons for keeping her asleep all the time. First is so that she doesn't cast the Reflect on Cindy, because then Mindy will do a whole bunch of reflected Thundagas and Blizzagas on your party. But secondly, to keep her overdrive from going off, because that will actually haste all of them up, and yeah, we do not want that at all. Then of course it's just one less enemy to deal with for most of the fight, because you know, she also does a Farazia every now and then, which is a fire element Razia, and yeah, that'll definitely one-shot anybody if they don't have a Null Blaze on. Actually, there are several reasons, because also when she's asleep she won't guard Mindy, so that way we can actually get the magic breaks on her all the time. And when Mindy gets her overdrive, it's very important that that's when you want to heal up, because yeah, she has Terra Graviton, which not only will do damage that can be lethal based off of their max HP, not their current HP, but it also puts everyone to sleep. So remember who has sleep-proof armors too. But one last little nugget of information is if you are getting a bit overwhelmed, you can slow them down. Only thing is Mindy will counter with a Sloga on your party, which if you have slow proof on your guys, doesn't matter, because remember, you get a lot of things that you can make slow proof from the Ixion fight. But you can use that to your advantage too, because you can threaten with Auron all of them at least once. But if Lulu and Walker are on the front line, they might get a lot of good lucky dodges from the any normal attack that Mindy throws out. Well, I mean, Walker will have invaded counter, so his dodges are guaranteed, but Lulu actually has a very high evasion stat, so she might as well just dodge them. But after talking about the other two sisters for so long, really the main target is Cindy. You'll see that I poisoned her at the very beginning of the fight, and that's because she's really the main target here. That's why you'll see that I actually dispel whenever she puts Shell and Protect on herself too. Because when she goes down, that's when really the phase 2 of the fight, which is much easier, starts up. Definitely keep an eye on her HP, because when she does go down, you're gonna need either someone with auto life or an Aeon up there to soak up the Delta attack. So, once they don't have their magic anymore and their overdrives are done, the fight does get a lot easier. But don't let your guard down too much, because they still have their special attacks. The Aqua Chemistade, the Pasado, and the Farazia. So yeah, definitely they can still do a lot of damage to you. Just once you get it under control, it should be easy from there. Especially if you can just nuke them with Bahamut. And at the end of the fight, the rewards are actually super useful. Because in the Bahamut fight, I'm actually going to be doing a lot of customizing. And the preservers that come from these status customizations are definitely what I need. But before then, definitely level up and restock. And then, yeah, turns out there is this one chest by the beach, but it only has a potion now, so hey, it's better than nothing. But next up is the final fight before the Seraph, which in my case is Bahamut. Now, Bahamut cycles through 3 attacks of Elemental Change and Full Break, followed up by an Impulse, and then Hepta Elemental Attack, and then a Haste and Guard Up, plus a Status Punch. And honestly, if you don't make a custom set of gear specifically for him, I don't really know how you're going to deal with this. Because this whole game, I've been relying a lot on the SOS nulls, but with his Impulse, it doesn't trigger the SOS because that's all one turn for him. So if you're in SOS range, you're not going to survive the Impulse. And yeah, if you're not in SOS range, then the Impulse will knock you down, and the Hepta Element will definitely do you in. Then his Hasted Guard and Status Punch can also just start things spiraling, because, you know, obviously you don't want him to stay hasted, and then when he hits somebody with a status, he'll hit him with Slow, Sleep, Confuse, Zombie, so that's just all sorts of bad stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm making Auron, because Auron is always the tankiest, and he has his Auto Shell and Protect, so that way he can tank up both the Full Break and the Status Punch. And then I'm having Kamari, Riku, and Yuna on the field to soak up the elemental attacks. Not only that, but I'm giving Magic Counter and Break Damage Limit on Kamari, because that way he can, since he'll be soaking up the elements, he'll be able to speed up the fight a lot by dishing out that extra damage. And then Yuna is actually going to get a completely new set of gear, because her SOS haste on the armor isn't going to cut it. So I'm getting an SOS haste weapon instead, and that way she's going to still have her half MP, but she's going to get triple overdrive since we have the amulets for that. And then she'll get coverage for 3 of the 4 elements, so she'll still have the auto life for the one element that she'll get completely wrecked by, And with triple overdrive, she'll charge up pretty quickly so she can get an Aeon out whenever we need to counter that Mega Flame. So as long as you keep track of the attack pattern, then you can have Orange soak up the physical hits, and then switch them out so that the elemental team can deal with that. Then a hasted Lulu can double cast whatever element he's weak to at the moment, and Riku can copycat it for even more damage. Then the last thing to note is, just like in the Omega fight, we want to make sure that whenever he casts his haste and protect shell, that we hit him with a purifying salt instead of a dispel. Because that way, the brakes will stay on, and we can still do all the damage that we need. Only thing is remember, we only have a limited amount of purifying salts, but that kind of makes it more of an incentive to do more damage quicker. Then I guess the last point is, the reason why I'm not using double demis all the time like I normally do is because he's actually immune to demi. So it's good variety, making it so that every fight is unique and you have to approach it in its own way. Then in terms of the rewards, now Oran's not hogging them all, but Lulu is. So, I mean, Tetra Ward is very good, but I mean, it is the last drop of the game, so you can't really expect too much. And then we have our final levels before really prepping specifically for Pennance, which is pretty cool because Titus actually gets access to use just in time. But now, since there is only one fight left, I'm going to be selling a lot of my more of my redundant weapons and armor because, you know, any extra gil that I can use on Phoenix Downs or whatever I need, the better. And then of course I'll show off my final inventory before the final customization and prep. So that way, like you can see, oh, I still have my Mega Phoenix. So we'll see who will use that on. And I also have another choice of whether or not to use the Warp Spears for levels or to put them on the 1 MP cost, because 1 MP cost is great, along with a whole lot of Sphere Grid options. So we'll see, but that'll be for next episode, the grand finale. So I hope to see you there. Yeah, again, if you liked the video, I like your face. Bye-bye.